nationwide pa! Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 6.
Good evening, this is koolNews at 6. I'm Cairo. Massive turnout at Mindoro Proclamation Rally as FPJ Panday Bayanihan gains strong local support. A crowd of over 5,000 gathered in Mindoro where the FPJ Panday Bayanihan was endorsed as the official party list of the province. The event, hosted in collaboration with Galing at Subdivision para sa Mindoro, the regional political party led by Governor Hermelito Bons Dollar, marked a vital moment in local political engagement ahead of the 2025 midterm elections. Dollar, a strong supporter of FPJ Panday Bayanihan's mission to uplift marginalized communities, publicly expressed his full endorsement of the party list group. In his speech, Dollar highlighted the connection Mindoro has with the family of the late Fernando Poe Jr. Ang lolo nila, pinanalaw natin sa Oriental Mindoro, 60,000 ang lamang ni FPJ sa Ormin noong 2004. Both FPJ and his daughter Grace Poe won big in Mindoro in 2004 and 2013 respectively. Kung pupoto kayo sa akin, samahan inyo na ng FPJ Panay Bayanihan. Brian Paul Lamanzares, chairman of FPJ Panay Bayanihan, delivered the keynote address during which he announced the official endorsement of Hias Dollar, the governor's wife, as one of the party list nominees. This endorsement further solidified the alliance between the provincial leadership and FPJ Panay Bayanihan. Parating na po bagong umaga na pinangako ni FPJ noon. Sa tulong ni Gov. Bong Dollar, GSM, FPJ Panay Bayanihan at ni Senator Grace Poe, magagawa na natin ito. Bilang chairman ng FPJ Panay Bayanihan, isa lang ang hingi ko sa inyo. Tulungan inyo si Ate Hilas Dollar, ang susunod na congresswoman ng FPJ Panay Bayanihan. Paul Lalamanzares. The partnership between FPJ Panday Bayanihan and Galing at Subdivision para sa Mindoro underscores a shared vision of empowering communities through responsible governance and social justice. The event drew representatives from various sectors, reinforcing the broad base of support behind FPJ Panday Bayanihan's advocacy. Governor Dollar went on to ask for the provincial board to adopt Paul Lamazares as a son of Mindoro. Pumoboto tayo sa party list, hindi natin kilala, hindi nararamdaman ang tulong. Ngayon, nandito ang isang tao na nakahahin ng kanyang puso at serbisyo para maging represente. Tulungan natin si FPJ. Bakit? Dahil ang chairman at unang nominee ay gagawin natin adopted son ng Oriental Mindoro. Ako nakikiusap sa ating sangguniang panlalawigan. Pwede bang maka-request na mag-file tayo ng resolution formally adopting Brian Poe as adopted son of Oriental Mindoro. With Mindoro's enthusiastic endorsement, FPJ Panday Bayanihan continues to gain momentum, aligning their agenda with local leadership to serve the province and champion its people's needs. FPJ Panday Bayanihan last week held a two-day sectoral consultation with transport leaders, urban poor, youth leaders, farmers, fisherfolk, the informal sector, and frontliners to get their input regarding grassroots issues and build a well-rounded political platform. President Ferdinand Bobong R. Marcos Jr. commemorated the 35th death anniversary of his father, former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., with a heartfelt message on Saturday. In the social media post, he said his father lived in service to our country and advocated for development, justice, unity, and nationalism. Above all, his beliefs was his faith in the Filipino people, he added. Marcos said he made a promise to honor his father's life's work by building on this foundation. In some way, I hope that I have made you proud, Dad, he said. We miss you every day, the president added. Senator Amy Marcos thanked her brother, President Ferdinand Bobong R. Marcos Jr., for including her in the administration's senatorial slate for 2025 elections, but said she chose to stand alone so her brother will no longer be put in a difficult position. In a statement on Saturday, Marcos thanked the president for including her in the alliance and for coming to her defense despite the anger and extreme cruelty of some. Many also thanks to Nationalista Party and to all my allies who continue to support me. May your trust remain with me, she also said. However, the senator said she chose to remain free and loyal, not to any group but to every Filipino. She also mentioned their father, former President and Dictator Marcos Sr., whose death anniversary is being remembered on September 28th. Today marks the 35th year since my father passed away, but his teachings remain alive in my heart. As his eldest, I choose to stand free and firm, like him, in believing that there should be no allegiance but to the Filipino people, she pointed out. The senator did not specifically say if she is formally withdrawing from the administration's senator slate. It is never easy to stand alone in campaigns and in politics, but that is the legacy my father left me. That is the legacy of Apo Lakay, whom we remember today, she said. I chose to stand alone so that my ading will no longer be put in a difficult position and my true friends won't have to hesitate, she added, referring to the president. In the separate statement, Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas campaign manager Representative Toby T. Angco said he respects and admires the senator, especially her advocacy and track record in public service. The Alianza para sa Bagong Pilipinas believes in her ability to serve the Filipino people with integrity, he said. The alliance will continue to support Senator Amy Marcos for the success of President Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s legislative agenda aimed at inclusive development and a better future for all of us, Tiangco added. The Akbayan Party announced on Saturday that human rights lawyer Chow Tik No will be its first nominee for next year's midterm elections. Tik No said that before accepting the party's nomination, they deliberated on the best avenue to serve the public. The 2025 polls will be Akbayan's repeated bid to again represent the marginalized sector in Congress. From the beginning, we carefully examined all possible avenues to best serve our people. After thorough reflection, we determined that running under the party list system is not only a personal choice but also the most pragmatic path to effectively confront the forces of corruption and injustice, Dokno said in a statement. Dokno, who previously barred his intent to run as a senator in the midterm elections, noted that he and Akbayan will still rally behind former senators Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan in securing those seats in the Senate. Akbayan remains steadfast in backing senators Bam Aquino and Kiko Pangilinan. We fully support Senator Risa Hontiveros to Senate candidates, and as we campaign for them, we will also work to secure at least 3 seats for the party, Dicno added. Dicno recently joined the political party, sharing that it is a way to continue the Dicno legacy and to advance the right to fight for human rights. Akbayan Party also announced on Saturday that Percy Sandana will serve as its second nominee in the 2025 polls. Sedana, who served as a commissioner of the National Youth Commission from 2011 to 2016, was Akbayan's first nominee in the 2022 elections. Sendana was sworn into office on Wednesday, September 25, following the recent Commission on Elections proclamation on Akbayan as one of the winners in the party list race in the 2022 polls. His term will end on June 30, 2025. The group returned to the House of Representatives after the Supreme Court upheld the COMELEC's decision to cancel the restoration of an RY as a party list organization after its second nominee took an oath in the 16th Congress despite being entitled to only 1 seat. Akbayan ranked 57 in the party list race of the 2022 elections, just 1 spot shy from the 56 groups proclaimed as winners. And the Commission on Elections COMELEC on Saturday announced that the issuance of voter certification in all the offices of the election officer across the country on Monday, September 30 will be suspended. The COMELEC said that this is to give way to the last day of voter registration. On Monday, September 30, 2024, COMELEC will suspend issuing voters certification or voter registration record in all of the offices of the election officer in the country to give way to the last day of voter registration, COMELEC said in a Facebook post. COMELEC said that Metro Manila residents can get their voter certification or voter registration record in the National Central Vault Division of the Election Records and Statistics located at the FEMI Building, Cabildo Street, corner A. Soriano Avenue, Intramuros, Manila. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia previously reminded the public that the election body will not extend the registration period to give way in processing the rest of the voter applications during the registration period. Eligible voters can register at the office of the election officer or satellite registration office in the area from Mondays to Saturdays, including holidays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Meanwhile, the filing of the certificate of candidacy for the 2024 midterm elections will happen on October 1 to 8, 2024. The filing of COC for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao parliamentary elections was moved to November 4 to 9, 2024, after the Supreme Court ruled that the Sulu province is no longer part of the region. The midterm elections will be held on May 12, 2025, where a total of 80,261 national and local positions will be up for election. Meanwhile, parliamentary elections will fill 73 seats in the parliament. It is now 6:11 in the evening, and we return with another round of national and international headlines right here on koolNews at 6, so stick around, we will be right back.
Panahon
Welcome back to koolNews at 6. An elderly female pedestrian died after she was hit by a speeding motorcycle along the Maharlika Highway in Gumaka Town in Quezon Province on Friday night, police said. The Quezon police said in a report Saturday, September 28, that 66-year-old Lisa Mem Armonia was bumped at 7:20 p.m. by the motorcycle driven by one Joshua while she was about to cross a section of the highway in Barangay Bamban. The victim sustained serious injuries and was rushed by rescuers to a hospital in the locality but died during treatment. The motorcyclist was placed under police custody while the investigation continues. A lawmaker here wanted all private and public office that customers must provide only one valid identification card during transactions. Representative Uplo John Garcia of Cebu's 3rd District filed House Bill number 10973 that mandates all offices to require no more than one valid ID from transacting customers. The proposal listed a total of 19 forms of identification that all offices, whether in government or in the private sector, must recognize as valid proof of identity. These range from passwords to voters' IDs. In a statement, Garcia said his bill aims to complement Republic Act 11055, which established the Philippine Identification System and the PhilSys ID. He said that the public should not be burdened to provide more than one valid ID during transactions, especially after the implementation of the PhilSys ID, or properly known as the National ID, had been plagued with logistical challenges. Despite the pronouncement concerning the objective of PhilSys, certain government agencies and private entities still require multiple forms of identification, practically meaning that each ID standing alone is invalid, he explained. This unduly burdens the public when such agencies can definitely ensure the integrity of their government-issued IDs and documents, added Garcia. People also may not have the time or resources to apply for another ID even if they obsess another valid ID duly that can be accepted elsewhere, Garcia said. Should the bill become a law, government agencies and private entities then may identify additional IDs as sufficient for transactions in the office, but will not be allowed to ask for more than one. The bill also proposed that any person or office that refuses to accept any of the valid IDs listed might be penalized with a fine of 500,000 pesos. Furthermore, it also added that another provision punishing individuals caught using government IDs for fraudulent transactions or fake IDs themselves with imprisonment for 6 months to 3 years or fine 50,000 pesos to 3 million pesos or both. And Filipino nurses seeking employment in New Zealand have been urged to exercise caution as the country currently lacks employment opportunities for foreign nurses or internationally qualified nurses. The warning came from the Embassy of the Republic of the Philippines in Wellington, New Zealand, the Department of Foreign Affairs said in a statement on Saturday. The embassy said it is aware of individuals and agencies offering to facilitate the hiring of foreign nurses by arranging the travel to New Zealand on visitor visas, to take the comprehensive assessment program or objective structured clinical examination for nurses and subsequently apply for registration by the Nursing Council of New Zealand. While taking the CAP or OSCE and being registered by the NCNZ is a legitimate means to practice nursing in New Zealand, it does not guarantee employment, the DFA noted. Employment of IQNs in New Zealand is dependent on a variety of factors outside the CAP, OSCE, and the NCNZ, including local demand and the ability of employers in the New Zealand health sector to acquire IQNs, the DFA said. The embassy has also received reports that due to the current lack of job opportunities, IQNs who traveled to New Zealand on visitor visas were forced to leave the country when the visas expired. The embassy encourages Filipino nurses to ensure that there is ready employment for them before leaving the Philippines, which includes obtaining a legitimate job offer for verified contract from an accredited employer and a proper working visa issued by Immigration New Zealand, the DFA also said. 15 overseas Filipino workers or OFWs were arrived in the Philippines from Lebanon on October 3, Department of Migrant Workers Undersecretary Felipe said on Saturday. Some OFWs were supposed to arrive on September 26th, but there was a suspension on flights from Lebanon, so the arrival of the 15 OFWs have been suspended. Based said in Saturday News from Quezon City. But we heard from the Migrant Workers Office that the repatriation will be rescheduled or has been reset for October 2. So they will arrive, barring unfortunate circumstances, October 3. Those who did not get the leave on September 26 will arrive on October 3, they added. The Philippine Embassy in Lebanon said in an advisory on Friday that multiple explosions were reported in the southern suburbs of Beirut due to a targeted Israeli military strike on Hezbollah's headquarters on the evening of 27 September 2024. The embassy then urged the Filipinos in the area to remain vigilant and avoid the southern suburbs of Beirut and other areas that have been the targets of conflicts. Meanwhile, the MW said on Thursday that there are no reported Filipino casualties in Lebanon despite the escalating war between the Israeli forces and the Islamic group Hezbollah. And now for the international headlines. Vice President Kamala Harris pledged Friday she would tighten the border and fix America's broken immigration system on her first visit to the U.S. to Mexico frontier as a presidential candidate. The U.S. Vice President is playing catch-up on immigration, with the majority of Americans saying that they trust Republican rival Donald Trump more than her on one of the most important issues for voters ahead of November's election. In a speech in Douglas, Arizona before a friendly audience, Harris tried to straddle a tough on illegal immigration line with a promise to reach across the aisle to fix an immigration system she said was broken. The United States is a sovereign nation, and I believe we have a duty to set rules at our border and to enforce them, and I take that responsibility very seriously, she said. We are also a nation of immigrants, and so we must reform our immigration system to ensure that it works in an orderly way, that it is human, and that it makes our country stronger. Harris said as president she would revive a bipartisan border bill Trump tanked last year, which will add 1,500 border agents and pay for 100 machines to detect smuggled fentanyl as synthetic opioid ravaging U.S. communities. And she said anyone crossing the border illegally would be barred from seeking asylum in the country. But hardworking migrants who come to the U.S. legally should be given a pathway to citizenship, she said. I reject the false choice that suggests we must either choose between securing our border or creating a system of immigration that is safe, orderly, and human. We can and we must do both. She said Trump, who has repeatedly demonetized immigrants as murderers, rapists, and mentally ill people, is fanning the flames of fear and division. The American people deserve a president who cares more about border security than playing political games and their personal political future. Harris earlier visited the border wall in Douglas, where she met with Border Patrol officials and was photographed alongside the dismissive metal slats. It was her first visit to the frontier since Joe Biden ceded the Democratic Party nomination to her, and Republicans have hampered her for staying away. Arizona is one of the half-dozen battleground states expected to decide the aggressively close November election, and it is where polls show Harris may have to do the most work. And now for the showbiz news. After two hiatus, Mixed Music Awards is back and has announced the nominees for different categories this year, with Beanie and SB19 among those vying for the Artist of the Year award. The awarding body unveiled the full list of nominees on Friday, September 27 on its social media platforms. Aside from getting the nod for Artist of the Year, Beanie's hits Pantropico, Salamin Salamin, and Cherry on Top have been nominated for Song of the Year, Pop Video of the Year, and Music Video of the Year awards, respectively. Meanwhile, aside from getting a nomination as a group, SB19 members Stel, Pablo, Justin, Philip, and Josh Colin have also brought nominations for their respective solo songs. Here are the nominees in the 12 categories. For Breakout Group of the Year is Cup of Joe, Dilaw, Player 2, Sugar Cane, Sunkiss, Lola. For the Breakout Solo Artist of the Year, Demi, Densis Julia, Dionella, Hev Abby, and Maki. Global Video of the Year, Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, Fortnite by Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone, Rockstar by Lisa, Water by Tyla, and We Can Be Friends by Ariana Grande. For collaboration of the year is Bad by Dennis Julia featuring Pilo, Determinado by Apollo and Josu, Panggundangan by Demi featuring Hiabi, Sining by Dinola by featuring JR, and Yoko Na by Josh Cullen and Aljax. And that's a lot of nominations here. We're not gonna focus much here, but let's skip to the pop video of the year. So here are the pop video of the year and song of the year. We have Dayan by Alamat, directed by Carbs Balagtas, Pantintero by Bigyo, directed by Carlo Calingao, Room by Stel, directed by Carbs Balagtas, Salamin by Bini, directed by Carbs Balagtas, and Testa da Mahiguma by Maymay Antrada, directed by Carl Dejada. For the song of the year is Dilo by Maki, Ere by Juan Carlos, Pantropico by Bini, Raining in Manila by Lola Amor, and Singing by Donila featuring JR. And for artist of the year is Bini, Lola Amor, Juan Carlos, Maki, and SB19. Voting begins on October 5, while the official day of the awarding ceremony has yet to be announced. And that is it for Cool News at 6. Until then, we will be back with more headlines with Cool News Prime Time later at 9 with Steven Linawak Del Sol. I'm Cairo. We will see you later. Good evening.